Good morning, students of class 9. Welcome back to the e-classes now. Let's continue our lesson. I hope you are staying safe and fine at home and doing your regular studies. Let's come back to the e-classes now and continue our lessons in history, the forest society and colonialism. So now we'll talk about 4.3. So far we have reached over here 4.3. In our next class we will do 4.4. Today we will do 4.3, that is Simon's challenge. We are talking about the forest dwellers and the Dutch in Java. Around 1890, Suran Tiko, the name of that leader, you can say that. Suran Tiko Samin of Randu Baltung, the name of the village, this is Randu Baltung. The name of the leader was Suran Tiko Samin, full name. Here only we have Samin challenge. His full name is Suran Tiko Samin of Randu Baltung, a thick forest village in Java. We are talking about that area where there was a thick forest. He began questioning the state ownership of the forest. He started questioning state ownership of the forest. Who owned this forest? Who owned this land? Who owned this water, the air, the sunlight? Dutch have not brought these things over here. It belongs to this place. So now in this way, he began questioning state ownership. Who owns this of the forest? Let's talk about next. That was his question. He raised a question. Who is the owner of this forest? The land, the air, water, river, sunlight, the resources that nature has provided. Who owns this? Number 2, he argued. Argue means discuss. He argued that the state had not created the wind. Dutch state, the Dutch, the state had not created the wind, water, earth and the wood. Wood means forest. So they could not own it. Dutch came over here empty-handed. This property, the forest, the woods, the earth, water, wind, these do not belong to the Dutch. This belongs to the people who live over here. So they could not own it. It belongs to the people of Java. He began to raise a question like that. How can they say that it is ours? This belongs to the people of here, Java. People of Java. So and has the right to use it. And the people have the right to use it. Previously, we were talking about the Dutch came over here and they had to pay, people were forced to pay the taxes and people were forced to work for them. So now here one leader, Suran Tiko Samin, he raised a question. Number 3, soon, quickly, a widespread movement developed. All the people, the native people of Java began to listen to him. Yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. This thing belongs to us, not them. They came empty-handed and they are forcing us to work for free. As well as we have to pay tax for them. For what? So they began to raise a question and all supported him. Soon, widespread movement developed. His son-in-law helped him to organize the movement. His son-in-law, Suran Tiko Samin's son-in-law, helped him to organize the movement, and all the people, native people of Java, followed and listened to him. When the Dutch came to survey the land, in the horse carriage, Saminists protested by lying down on their land. Saminists, they lay down on the land. They did not let the officials pass. Sometimes and on the way they lay down on the way so that the horse carriage could not pass. On the road, the Dutch officials used to come to the village to survey the land in their horse carriage. But the Saminists lay down on the land or sometimes on the road so that the carriage could not pass. They protested in this way. Some other Saminists refused to pay taxes. No, we will not pay the tax. Why should we pay the tax? We will not pay the taxes or fines. We will not pay the fine as well, and we will not perform labor. We will not work for them. So in this way, Saminists protested against the Dutch policies. So here we have talked about Samin's challenge, and people followed he followed his ideas, and later on ultimately the Dutch suppressed the protest because they were powerful and suppressed but they raised a point that which was quite true. So the property, the forest, water, land, the state had not created. State means Dutch rulers, the country which was taken over by the Dutch. It has not created by the Dutch rulers or the Dutch state. It belongs to the people of Java. So, and they have the right to use it. So in this way, Samin raised the question against these injustice done to them. So that's all. Now in our next class we will do, to be continued, 4.4 war and deforestation we will do in our next class. 4.4 in our next class, war and deforestation. So war had laid great damage to the forest. Deforestation took place due to war. What was the reason for that? So there are 2-3 points in that. We'll talk about that. Now so far we have reached over 4.3 and we are finished. So we will do in our next class. That's all for today, and thank you for watching the video. I hope you are staying safe at home and doing your regular studies. Make a habit, and every day I am telling you that you must use your time wisely. You should not waste it. So time is running out, you know it very well, and you are quite grown up. You can understand that what you have to do, and you can copy this out and go through the book. Be careful, go through the book. That is very, very important. You must have had the book. Have a look. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll meet in the next class. That's all.